You know what's mind-blowing? Ancient spiritual texts predicted our modern wellness culture would completely miss the point of fasting they saw right through the superficial self-improvement mindset thousands of years ago.
It's fascinating how these ancient teachings seem to directly challenge our current obsession with detox cleanses and wellness trends.
Well, what's really interesting is how these texts lay out this comprehensive spiritual training program. It's like they're saying, look, you're starting with controlling your appetite, but that's just level one of this transformative journey.
Could you break down what those other levels look like? Because it seems like there's so much more depth here than just skipping meals.
So get this, it actually provides this detailed blueprint that starts with tackling gluttony, but then evolves into developing virtues like fortitude and prudence. And here's what's really wild. It explicitly gives permission to stop physical fasting if it becomes too overwhelming.
That's such a compassionate approach, so different from the no pain, no gain mentality we often see today.
Right? And you know what really stands out? The text specifically calls out people who fast while still exploiting workers or engaging in quarrels. It's basically saying your performative self-denial means nothing if you're still contributing to social injustice.
Well, that's quite a wake-up call for anyone who thinks spiritual practice is just about personal enlightenment.
And here's where it gets really practical. It lays out specific actions that demonstrate true fasting: breaking unjust fetters, sharing food with the hungry, housing the homeless. It's like a spiritual fitness program where the end goal is becoming more attentive to others' needs.
That reminds me of the metaphor in the text about becoming like a watered garden, suggesting we should be sources of nourishment for others, not just focused on our own growth.
Exactly, and what's particularly relevant for our time is how it addresses both individual and collective responsibility. Like, in an era where we're facing unprecedented global challenges, maybe this ancient wisdom about connecting personal spiritual practice to social responsibility is exactly what we need.
So, how do you see this playing out in contemporary society? These teachings about being a breach mender and restorer of streets to live in.
Well, it's really about how personal transformation can lead to social renovation. When we engage in authentic spiritual practice, we're developing the capacity to heal broken relationships and address systemic injustices. The text suggests that true spiritual growth naturally flows outward into social action.
That's quite different from how most people approach spiritual practices today, as something private and personal.
You know what's fascinating? These teachings have endured because they speak to something fundamental about human nature and community life. They're saying that true transformation isn't just about what we give up, it's about what we give to others.
And that really challenges our modern tendency to compartmentalize our spiritual lives from our social responsibilities.
Absolutely right, and perhaps that's the most powerful message for today. In a world that's increasingly fragmented and individualistic, these ancient teachings remind us that genuine spiritual growth should make us more connected, more compassionate, and more committed to creating positive change in our communities.